All right, guys. So Obama released his response to the death of Charlie Kirk, the assassination, if we want to be specific. Let's just see what he has to say. I'll kind of go over what I think and why this is problematic in a moment. We don't yet know what motivated the person who shot and killed Charlie Kirk, but this kind of despicable violence has no place in our democracy. So let's break it apart a little bit. We don't yet know what motivated the person who shot and killed Charlie Kirk. Absolutely correct, according to any publicly available knowledge, anyhow. We just don't know. A lot of people are going crazy and making conspiracy theories and jumping to like automatic emotional conclusions and shit, but we just don't know. Okay. This kind of despicable violence has no place in our democracy. So we've got a bit of an issue here because there's a bit of a power imbalance at the moment. And there is a whole lot of violence on one particular ideological side that is perfectly acceptable and even condoned. Matter of fact, you can go try to take over the United States via a fucking attempted insurrection. You can incite essentially a mob to riot, to factually attack police officers who are completely apolitical. Police officers who are there to just serve and protect. These people can be found guilty according to the facts, and they're just released because they happen to be on a specific side. But then the standard changes. It's really weird. And yes, you could say that one is an actual death, the other is like violence. But I'm not, just to make it clear, I'm not trying to say that they're exactly the same in like scope. I'm saying that no one's really making a huge deal about the and what I would wager is a far bigger issue because it's so widespread and so many people are just silent while we're losing. Now I'll explain this in a moment. We already don't have a democracy, which is another point I want to counter with Obama's rhetoric here. And then Jesus, where was I going with that? I was wanting to counter that it's a democracy, but yeah, the small amounts of actual influence everyday people have on our government are just being ripped apart right in front of us. Like it's like right in fucking front of us. It's not hidden. It's not like I'm not pulling out conspiracy theories. These are facts. The things that Trump has been doing and continues doing is destroying the entire fabric of how our system works. And what I mean by that is any sort of like checks and balances meant to protect the nation from like a tyrannical dictator are being fucking slowly dismantled. And it's not like I'm having to point to things that are sort of gray areas. It's like direct, right fucking in front of you. Like, I don't understand. Like, it's like a collective, like, brain block where people just don't recognize it. And I don't understand why. The information is there. It's at our fingertips. At least at this point, we still have people on the ground who are fighting to bring actual news to us that are explaining what's going on day by day. But so many people seem to be sort of, meh, just another day. Like, what the fuck? Like, do you not understand what's happening? Do you not understand why this is so fucking important? To sort of put it in context, like Trump gets like a big fucking like it's like a retard pass. I don't have a better way of explaining it. It's like uh, he is filtered through an entirely different lens when it comes to accountability. This is something that Obama said that I think that I do totally agree with. Imagine if I had done any of this. And that's something that you need to think about. If Obama had done even a tiny fraction of any of the things that Trump has done since he has come into power in his second term here, there would be insane riots in the fucking streets. It would be absolutely catastrophic. Like, it would be massive. But Donald Trump, for whatever reason, he does far worse, and it's silence. Like, it's almost as if you hate your country to such an extent, you just want it to fucking rot away. Like, what the fuck is going on? Anyhow, I'm going off on a tangent, trying to get focused again. So yeah, there's a big difference in how we view violence from side to side, and it's a problem. Like, there's a massive, like, the bar changes. The point at which we care is different on each side. That's a fucking problem. It's like an indication that the corruption and the brainwashing, the rhetoric, the propaganda has gone so far that it's fucking it seems to have worked. So let's go ahead and address this last point. Democracy. The United States is not a democracy. I'm not saying that right now. It has not been a democracy for some time. And we are, again, we're losing the small things that we do have that make people's opinion actually make a difference at all in the United States. Because Trump is purposefully getting rid of them so that he can become a dictator. So that your personal like views on policy and shit mean absolutely nothing. He becomes the fucking dictator in chief. He tells you what you think. You're not allowed to fucking say anything against him. He's already attacked fucking the press, which is one of the first thing fascists do. So anyway, democracy. I'm trying to stay on track here. The United States is not a democracy. So claiming that this has no place in our democracy is like already invalidated. You're spreading bullshit. Like, I get he's a politician. It's sort of what politicians do, but it's important to counter it. So, do I have anything that's well, first, because I'm going to be leaving the screen, Michelle and I will be praying for Charlie's family tonight, especially his wife Erica and their two young children. That's fine. I don't know anything about them. It is tragic from their point of view, but from a broader perspective, from a utilitarian perspective, I stand by what I've already said. It is a net positive that someone like Charlie Kirk is no longer in this world. It is a boon to humanity. There's more good that comes out of that than bad. So anyway, I don't really have anything else to say about that. So back to the democracy thing. So am I just spouting shit? No. So one, I'm not going to dig this up, but it's really not hard to find. Oxford did a study and essentially proved beyond a shadow of a doubt that the United States is an oligarchy. And just to clarify for anyone that doesn't understand, oligarchy is a small group of people having control of a country, organization, or institution. And in this particular instance, it would be a country, and the implication in this particular instance is that it's money. Money buys everything in this country. And I can prove it indirectly, but it's still proof. So I'm going to pull up a chart here. This might actually be from the Oxford study. I think it is, or at least they used it. It's been a little while since I read it, but anyway, like this shows exactly what I'm talking about. So if we were a democracy, what would be the easiest way to prove that? By showing popular opinion across like all Americans, their preferences on policies, and showing the trend of how policy decisions relate to that, right? It's the easiest way you could do it, the most direct route without like a whole lot of bias or anything. It's like direct. They've done this. So as it turns out, I'll show you here. This is the predicted probability of adoption based on like past policies and how they're adopted based on the average citizen's preferences. This is the percent favoring proposed policy change. Notice how it's an almost flat line. There's very slightly a slight little increase forward here. So this shows clearly that what citizens in the United States think about specific issues has absolutely no influence on policy. Like the whole thing is a charade. It's designed to give you the illusion of participation, representation. Your opinion does not mean shit. We do not have a democracy. This proves it beyond a shadow of a doubt, unless you're going to find some other way of explaining this data. Now, here is the economic elites' preferences. Exactly the same setup. Notice how percent favoring the proposed policy change. Notice how as the number of elites push like their favor of a particular preference for a policy change or whatever, it drastically affects the policies themselves and whether they get adopted or not. What this means is your opinion, your view, your personal stance on how things should be governed and done in the United States means nothing. They're bought off. Money buys everything. We have a broken system. This is important because sometimes we kind of take things for granted and we hear something so many times we don't think about it. We hear, oh yeah, it's a democracy. Well, at least we're still a democracy. I mean, things might be bad, but at least we're no, we're not a fucking democracy. I'm not saying that we're heading toward like some sort of system outside of democracy. We are factually right now not a democracy. Please wrap your head around this because it's very difficult to get through some people's like emotional, like mental barriers. To some people, their nationality is their identity. And like everything being perfect and fair and balanced and all that is like literally part of how they identify themselves. The problem is when your ego defends itself, but it's based on something that's not true, you're only hurting yourself and other people around you. We are not a democracy. I won't say that again. I just had to get it through, like try to fucking get it to stick. I believe that's all I really wanted to cover here. And by the way, the democracy thing is not separate. It may seem separate. It is directly related to the fucking problem. People rightfully feel like their voices are not heard because they're not. Because your opinion has no influence on policy. This is a fact. This is proven by the data. And they're pissed off at that. So what I would say is take that anger. It's not invalid. There's a reason why you feel anger. It's a good thing. It's showing that you're not broken. Channel that anger in the right direction. Demand that the fucking system be fixed to represent the views of the people. Thank you for your time.